same service, just a new name from design to finish. Mead Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadLumber.com.
It's rodeo time in Rapid City, and Mr. Liquor is where you'll find the official spirit of the PRCA. Save $13 off the 175-liter bottle of Pendleton whiskey, now just $36.99. Or save $5 off the 750 bottle, now only $19.99. No matter what you're shopping for when it comes to spirits, wines, or cold beer, Mr. Liquor has it. So let her buck and ride on into Mr. Liquor today. Off Catron next to Walmart, or on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
You need to know.
The Dallas Mavericks are trading Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards along with D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum, and Jaden Hardy in exchange for Chris Middleton, Marvin Bagley III, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, 2 first-round picks, and 3 second-round picks. The Charlotte Hornets acquired Kobe White and Mike Conley Jr. from the Chicago Bulls as part of a deal that also saw them acquire Mason Plumlee from Oklahoma City and send Colin Sexton to Chicago. In the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals are hiring former Denver Broncos head coach Nathaniel Hackett as their new offensive coordinator. The Pittsburgh Steelers hired Minnesota Vikings passing game coordinator and tight ends coach Brian Angelico as their new offensive coordinator. Baseball, 3-time All-Star pitcher and 1968 World Series MVP Mickey Lolich has passed away at the age of 85. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. Wednesday show ready to go. The Nate Brown Show is live across South Dakota. South Dakota Sports Talk Show ready to roll. Thanks for being here. We got a great guest lineup tonight. We'll talk Super Bowl. We'll talk high school, college. We got you covered. Here we go. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Say it with me. The Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates, KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. Hope you're having a good day, a good week. Super Bowl week upon us, and we got a lot to hit tonight. Let's get to the guest lineup. Let's get popping. Remember, you can watch this show live a lot of ways on YouTube right now. Subscribe to our channel. We'd appreciate that. Get the numbers up. We need to do a promotion with our YouTube channel. Get those numbers, subscribers up. We might do that. Hang on. The Nate Brown Show. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe. Maybe you can join this competition. We'll figure something out. Get on YouTube. Watch us live right now. The Nate Brown Show. Search for us on YouTube. You've got us. On X right now, we're streaming live in studio on X at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show, interact with us. We try and read your replies throughout the show on the Twitter account. So follow us on X at Nate Brown Show. And one more place, Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports streaming app, Midwest Sports Plus. This show is live every afternoon on the new high school sports app. Download it. You've got it, Midwest Sports Plus. Wednesday's show looks great. I'll go through the guest lineup. Then we'll get popping today from South Dakota and beyond. Let's check in with Brian Noe tonight. Talking Super Bowl. He's been hosting Countdown to Kickoff all season long on Fox Sports Radio. Brian Noe now to the final game to the Super Bowl, and we got Brian Noe on tonight from Fox Sports Radio as they have radio rolling right now out there in Santa Clara. We will go to Sam Herder, FCS senior analyst. Some big news out of FCS football today. We'll get to it with Sam Herder on the way. HeroSports.com, his reaction. News out of Montana and the Big Sky Conference. National sports columnist Jerry Brewer is on tonight. He's with The Athletic. But the big story with Jerry, he's covered a lot of Super Bowls. I want to get his read on that. But the big story today is the Washington Post sports department has shuttered. So it's done. Washington Post announcing all of their sports writers are done. This is one of the all-time publications, right? Jerry Brewer was with the Washington Post for years. He is now with The Athletic. His reaction to what has happened in that scene. Jerry Brewer coming up from New York Times Athletic. And finally, Trent Singer's on tonight. Covers high school sports in South Dakota. He's out of Sioux Falls Live, and he's also the Augie hockey beat writer, SiouxFallsLive.com. Trent Singer on tonight from Sioux Falls. Wednesday lineup looks good on the guest side. Let's get you on if you want in. 605-720-1067 is our number. Join the conversation on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. 605-720-1067. Powered by the Pizza Ranch. Locations in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Home of everyone's favorite buffet. Barron's Wilson text line open. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. That is the Barron's Wilson text line. And we're off and running. We'll go to the phone right away, I believe. Let's go there. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, thanks. The big news that I hear about the Washington Post is just a reminder, hey, if you want to keep your local sports coverage, Argus Lead, or, even your local radio stations, don't hesitate to get that subscription. If you don't want to lose that coverage of your local high school sports teams, heck, even USD, SDSU, don't hesitate to jump into those subscriptions and support your local sports broadcasters, your local sports journalists that are covering those high school kids for you.
No, I think that's a good point, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for getting on. I appreciate that call. I mean, that's a good point. I've talked about that here on this program quite a bit. We're going to get into that here coming up, the whole sports media landscape. I've talked about, so I've done a radio show for a long time now. I started out doing a morning show. I was working my way up out of college and doing high school play-by-play. I came to my general manager and said, hey, I want to do high school play-by-play. And he goes, huh? There wasn't any sports on the station at that time. I go, are we making any money off of, 7 to 9 p.m. on a Friday night? And he said, well, no. I said, I can go and get sponsors. Let's do high school football. And that's how I got my start doing high school play-by-play here in South Dakota. And it just has morphed now into various aspects. It's not just radio play-by-play. Now you've got the live stream. Then you've got the paid video streams. And this radio show, by the way, we just used to be a radio show, and I love radio. We're on radio right now, 2 different affiliates across the state. However, we also put this show where? I mean, everywhere. We're on Midwest Sports Plus. You got to download that and download that app and get the subscription fee. We're on Twitter. If you want to get on there, you can watch us on your phone. We're on YouTube. So it is this whole changing landscape, and I'm going to get into that. Washington Post, some of the all-time great writers. You know who got their start there? Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon. These guys turned into the great PTI guys, the hot take guys, the debate guys. Think about where they were. Washington Post sports writers kind of turned into the modern-day equivalents of all these debate shows now. The original debate show was PTI with Kornheiser and Wilbon, and they got their start at the Washington Post. Did the Washington Post, change with the times? We will get into that. Jerry Brewer, longtime sports writer, he's coming up. He was at the Post, now he left, and he's with The Athletic. Okay, speaking of local stuff, I got to talk local here in South Dakota tonight. Start the show. Have to talk local. So today, and I've been looking forward to this, there was a basketball advisory meeting today. And so South Dakota High School Activities Association has all the various sports. They have advisory meetings. These are coaches, administrators that make up their specific sport, and they tackle some of the proposals that are brought. Can we change this, change that? There's a new idea for this, a new idea for that. Well, I've been talking about it the last week. Are any of these proposals going to get adopted and taken to the athletic directors here in South Dakota? And the fact of the matter is the basketball advisory meeting, follow Matt Kearney, our guy here at the Nate Brown Show, does a great job covering high school sports. You can find Matt Kearney on Twitter. He has all the breakdown of how the proposals went. I'll just run through it, Cliff Notes tonight. Basketball meeting was this morning. Here's what happened. There was a proposal to say move the private schools up in the metro areas. Sioux Falls Christian, Rapid City Christian, St. Thomas More. If they're in the big metros, move them up to AA basketball. That didn't even get started. It was done before it even got started. They stopped it and said, hey, this isn't something that can go through an advisory meeting. This has to go through an amendment to the Activities Association. This has to go through the board. It was kind of what I discussed here on the show yesterday. Remember, I said, hey, if they're going to be able to move private schools up through an advisory meeting and send that to the votes of the ADs, why wouldn't a Douglas or whoever wants to drop down a class in football, why couldn't they send it to a vote? Well, the fact of the matter is you have to send it to the board. You can't send a change like this to the school ADs to say, yeah, we want to move St. Thomas More up. We want to move Sioux Falls Christian up. That's not the way that works. So the proposal from Britton Heckla, it was brought from Britton Heckla. It said, hey, these smaller schools and these small communities, we're having a tough time against some of the metro private schools. They should move up. That was done dead on arrival. Can't go through an advisory meeting. Has to go through the Activities Association Board of Directors process. So that's done. Keep in mind, there will be more discussion about that, and I'll get to that later. SODAC 32. Do you guys follow this? In basketball, we have a SODAC 16. In AA, it works fine. You take the top 16, you play one game, there's your top 8 for the AA state tournament. I haven't been a huge fan of it. I mean, I'm not going to change my mind all the time on the show. I haven't been a huge fan of that because I think one basketball game doesn't solely determine who the best 8 teams are. I mean, it's just one game in AA, and then you get to go to the state tournament. I don't love it, but it works fine. SODAC 16 works in A and B really well, I think, because you still have to play out your regions. Then it takes the top 2 in each region. Now you start whittling down the teams, and you get the best 8, I believe. SODAC 16 is working, yet they wanted to bring a SODAC 32. This would take the top 32 teams and play it out 1 versus 32, 2 versus 31, and get it down to 16, then get it down to 8. Those SODAC 32 proposals were not advanced today. So we're on a streak here. 0 for 2, not moving up the private schools, no. SODAC 32, should we put that in an A and B and have 32 teams try and whittle it down to 16 and then to 8? That's dead, too. Will it keep coming up? I don't know. Groundhog Day was what, Monday? Yeah, we'll see next year. I'll see you back here at this time. SODAC 32 done. One more here. A couple more, actually. A couple more. What about making it mandatory for basketball coaches to insert their stats into the go-bound system? What about that proposal? I thought that might get some support. So they would say, hey, coaches, you have to put your stats into this new online system. The state of Iowa has this rule, and they say they have all the stats. I got a listener text from somebody from Iowa. He said it works really, really well. So how about this proposal? They discussed it. Should we make it mandatory for high school coaches to put their stats into Go Bound? They say no. So we're 0 for 3 on the basketball proposals. I think one of the big things was, as I followed it with Matt Kearney, was I don't know if that, we want to have a penalty like suspending a coach after a third time for postseason for a state tournament. Yet one of the basketball coaches in that meeting today said, well, there's got to be something that's kind of harsh, otherwise coaches aren't going to do it. He was like, there's got to be something that kind of holds coaches accountable, so they put their stats in. Ultimately, nobody made the motion. Nobody made the call to say, yeah, let's give it to the vote of the ADs to make coaches insert stats. And here's my issue with that. So if you're going to do it in basketball, then you gotta take this to other sports too. Like, why are we just worried about basketball coaches putting in stats? Why not football? I mean, there's some football teams that do it, but not very many. So this should be an activities association thing. Honestly, it should be an initiative, I believe, for the activities association to look at. So I'm talking to Dan Swartos and the team. This shouldn't be a sport by sport thing. Oh, basketball, it's mandatory. Football, it's not. Volleyball, it's not. Okay, soccer, it's not. This is a statewide. If you want coaches to put in stats, and you have the system to do it, you pay for the software, the Go Bounce system with rosters and schedules and stats, then you got to come up with a plan. What is fair? How do you do it? This needs to be initiated in peer, not just a sport thing. That's my take on that. So I think it's okay. Yeah, media wants stats in there. Yeah, we all want stats. I always thought it was a little harsh suspending a coach for the postseason in a state tournament if they don't do it for the third time. So I don't know where that came up, I guess, from Iowa. But I'm going to say no on that, and so did the advisory committee today. So we're 0 for 3. That's done. Finally, into a proposal that passed. Should we allow teams to play more than 20 games here in South Dakota high school basketball? So this was one of the ones I was watching. This came from Kyle Courtney, Rapid City Christian basketball coach and AD. And this one did pass. So this proposal was, why are we just sticking to 20 games? Why not go to 22? You don't have to play 22 if you don't have a budget or you can't find games, he said, but I'd like to play 22. And I had Kyle Courtney on my show last week. I said, why do you want to play more games? Is there enough leeway in the schedule? Is there enough officials, stuff like that? He said, I've been in states where they play more than 20. So I want to play 22, okay? So that one did go through. That means that's going to go to the activities director, and they're going to vote on that coming up. So one big proposal out of many at the basketball meeting today. Just one got out of there today. There were some interesting ones. We covered them. I think some of them kind of ill-conceived. One of them just keeps coming back, the SODAC 32. And then the other one where it's like mandatory coach reporting stats. That's got to be a statewide thing. That can't just be a basketball thing. I don't know why people thought, let's just do it in basketball. So playing 22 games in a season, is that feasible? The ADs will vote on that. That would increase from 20 to 22. Thanks for calling here live today, and you go ahead.
Okay, I had to redouble check this, but it's like the old days, and it still rings true in Nebraska. You're to play 18 games. You get 2 tournaments and the state tournament, so that'll be 3 tournaments. Our Metro Conference tournament, Nate, we have over 30 Class A schools, our big class in Omaha alone. This tournament is 34 to 36 teams every year. So you get your 3-4 games.
Okay.
Minimum 3, So you get that, add that to the 18. Then you can go to another tournament. Usually it's a 4 or 6 team, maybe 8 team tournament. Then you're allowed 3 more games there,
okay,
unless you win it.
So
then you go to the state tournament.
You think South Dakota doing 22 games is fine?
Oh, heck yeah. Come on. Iowa's been doing it forever. Nebraska's been doing it forever. Missouri does it. Kansas does it. I mean, I like the 18 that Nebraska does, and I think Iowa does too. And then you're allowed 2 tournaments.
Okay.
Well, our Metro tournament, you got 36 teams, and it's played over the Christmas break.
Yeah. No, I got you. We're at 20 right now. I think adding 2, that's fine. You're still at 22. That's not a huge amount. Not a huge amount.
No. It's extra money. It's extra money for your school, sell hot dogs. And let's talk about that, schools in Rapid City.
Yes.
Be more like Central and sell the quarter-pound hot dogs.
Okay.
I'll pay $5 for that quarter pounder hot dog.
Give me a good hot dog. All right. I like that.
Right, have a great day, Nate.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, sell better hot dogs at games is what he's saying, right? Sell some good hot dogs. All right. I need a good hot dog these days, like a hole in the head. I mean, I like a good hot dog, but moderation. Let's see here. One big thing that was talked about today, and I'm going to get into this later. This is a big thing now. There was a big discussion of the basketball meeting, yes, about all those proposals, and I told you only one went through. Essentially, one that I was watching, the play 22 games instead of 20. So they're going to take that to the vote of the ADs. The big discussion they did have, the basketball meeting today, it was stated that girls' basketball is having problems. Girls' high school basketball is having problems with numbers, level of play, rosters, okay? And it was stated the issue, you don't want to beat around here, they said, we have to talk about the issue being club volleyball. And it was stated right there. So you can find it, and they're saying club volleyball with their tryouts. They do tryouts right after the high school season, meaning girls play high school volleyball, and you know what happened back in our day? Then they'd go and play basketball. A lot of the volleyball players, tall kids, athletic kids, a lot of the volleyball players would play basketball. Back in my day, my sister did that. That was easy. That was just how it was. Now it's not, and so they're saying the issue is high school basketball, girls' high school numbers are declining big time. Is it the club volleyball aspect? Club volleyball holds their tryouts. They do it right after volleyball high school season. That means girls have to go, am I going to play high school basketball? But I got to be on this club team. That's my thing. What do I do? Is club volleyball a big problem for high school girls basketball? That's my question of the day. A lot of people have sounded off online on this, so I'll bring that to the radio audience tonight. Is club volleyball today, it's way different than what it used to be. I mean, I didn't have it back in the day. My sister just played high school basketball. She played high school volleyball. That was it, right? Is club volleyball the model? They do tryouts right away. Then they start their tournaments during basketball season. So if you're a basketball player, I don't know if you can play club volleyball as well. I don't know if you can do that with the commitments, the practices, the dedication, the expectations. Is club volleyball a big problem for high school girls basketball? My question of the day, 605-720-1067. Hit us on the text line. We're back with Sam Herder. Big news out of college football and the Montana Grizzlies coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Game day starts before kickoff. Get ready for the big game with help from Menards. Find great deals on sofas and recliners to keep guests comfortable all game long. Score big savings and stock up on game day goodies. Shop a variety of snacks and drinks to keep your party fueled up. Make Menards a part of your game plan. Shop in store or on Menards.com and save big money.
Save big money at Menards.
Want to do more of what you love and earn cash back doing it? With a Visa Cashback credit card from Black Hills Federal Credit Union, it's possible. Earn 1.5% cash back on everyday purchases like gas and groceries, and use it to fund your shoe obsession, vinyl collection, or airline upgrade. Plus, spend $2,000 in your first 90 days and get a $200 cashback bonus. Learn more at bhfcu.com/cashback. Offer subject to credit approval. Other restrictions apply.
If you want the peace of mind that your next pre-owned vehicle is the best it can be, you want Honda True. And you only find it at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda. Our Honda certified pre-owned vehicles are thoroughly inspected and backed by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange. You simply can't buy the wrong vehicle. Search our inventory at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Manholt Rushmore Honda.
As we kick off the new year and you think about new opportunities in 2026, Lee Cruz with New York Life Insurance Company in Rapid City is ready to help you and your family protect your financial future. Nobody knows what life will bring, and that's why it's so important to have life insurance in place. And Lee Cruz is a local guy that will help set up the right policy that fits your needs and budget. Just take 10 minutes, protect your family with life insurance. Google Lee Cruz New York Life. That's Lee Cruz at 605-360-8804.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. 41 tonight under partly cloudy skies, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly sunny tomorrow, 68. Mainly clear skies tomorrow night, 36. Clouds on the increase Friday by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 52 degrees.
Catch high school basketball action this weekend on Fox Sports Rapid City. Friday night, the Rapid City Central Cobblers host Brandon Valley Lynx in a boys and girls doubleheader beginning at 6. Then the Rapid City Stevens Raiders meet Brandon Valley in a doubleheader Saturday starting at 12:30. Join Teen Gurren meets Rome Wickersham for the pregame show Friday at 5:45 and Saturday at 12:15. The Cobblers and the Lynx on Friday, the Raiders and the Lynx on Saturday, right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Hey, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show just getting started tonight, Wednesday edition of the program. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. A lot to cover tonight. Some great guests. Jerry Brewer, former sports writer for the Washington Post, and he's on tonight. He's now with The Athletic, New York Times, longtime sports columnist. Jerry Brewer, one of the best to have tonight. The Washington Post sports department just shut down today. So Washington Post, huge publication, right? Massive. Washington Post Sports, done. Jerry Brewer coming up, his reaction on the changing media landscape out there. Let's go to college football. Big news out of the Big Sky in Montana. FCS, actually. Bobby Hauck, Montana Grizz football head coach, retired today. This is signing day today, the second signing day. And they were going to announce their class. They had a Bobby Hauck press conference today. He retires as the Grizz head coach, winningest coach in the Big Sky. Sam Herder's on with the reaction, herosports.com for his work. Sam, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you, as always, for having me.
I appreciate it. So, how stunned were you? It's signing day here. A lot of the colleges are announcing the second wave, some players coming in, and then we get the heads up that Montana's going to hold a press conference. Bobby Hauck's done.
Yeah, there's never really any good time to announce your retirement, or really any time there's a head coaching change. There's never really an ideal time. Obviously today with it being National Signing Day, kind of strange timing in that sense. But, I also, I don't believe Montana actually signed anyone for this signing period. All of their signees happened during the December signing period. So, I think they're holding the signing event just to announce those guys that had already signed. So, it's not like they were signing anyone new today, but still, timing-wise, interesting that they chose today to announce it. But, it sounded like Coach Hauck kind of made his final decision last night. And, as we know, as how things can leak, once you decide, you might as well announce it, as soon as you can before, the media gets a hold of it and leaks it before you can tell the public yourself or tell your players.
Now, here's the big thing I gathered from this. Bobby Hauck retiring as Montana head coach. That's the big news. I get it. His press conference, I'm watching it. and he was open. And I've interviewed Bobby over the years. I did a show in Montana every day, and so I had Bobby Houck on every week when he was coaching his first run up there at Montana, and he was pretty open. I mean, he really was, and today he was. He said, I just got tired of talking to agents, the transient nature of what's going on. What do you think of his comments?
Yeah, I think it's what a lot of head coaches feel, and we heard Chris Kleiman, a Kansas State head coach, former Bison head coach, he had the same things to say as well when he decided to retire, that if you're a Division I college football coach, whether you're at the Power 4 or Group of 5 or the FCS, you're not doing a whole lot of coaching. You're kind of the CEO of that program, and you're dealing with, to a certain extent, payroll, right? What do we have for NIL? What do we have for revenue sharing? What can we get our players to retain them? I got agents, contacting me saying, hey, I'm representing so-and-so player. He's a starting linebacker for you. We think he's worth $50,000. And as an FCS coach, you're going, what are we doing here? We're an FCS program. Yeah, your guy's a starter, but he's not an all-conference player, and you're asking us to pay him $50,000. Well, we can't do that. So then the player goes in the portal, and then that player finds out that agent was lying to him, and he's actually not worth that much money, and he ends up in a worse situation because he thought he was worth this much. And so it's where we're at in college athletics, and I just think we've swung so far in the other direction where 10 years ago players had pretty much no freedom at all. Now I think it's good that the transfer portal allows more transparency, and it's good that players can get paid and all that, but we swung so far in the opposite direction where it is a free-for-all where, technically there's a cap on how much you can make, but, how enforced is that? Who knows? And players can play at 5 different schools in 5 years. I don't know if that's good for anyone. So, yeah, it's where we're at right now, and I don't know if at some point there has to be a light at the end of the tunnel, but I don't know when that light is going to hit and things kind of stabilize a little bit in the college football landscape, but it almost seems like college football needs to hit rock bottom for things to start improving, and it seems like every week there's a new storyline of, okay, this has to be rock bottom, or this has to be rock bottom, and before you know it, there's going to be a guy who got drafted, but then, got hurt, didn't play in the NFL, and now he's back playing college football, because we're somewhat seeing that in college basketball.
So I think the unique challenge for FCS is real, Sam, and you fill me in on this, because I think there's no level like FCS where the NIL and transfer portal is hitting them as hard. And I know there's Group of 5. They're trying to compete with the big dogs. And, some other programs lose guys. They're breaking contracts. And they don't, Duke didn't keep their QB. Miami got him. I get it. But FCS, I feel like, is in the spot. They can't have a sustainable NIL and model enough to, I guess, stop this madness. That's what I mean. I think the FCS level is at a big disadvantage here. Do you?
Yeah, certainly. I do think the Group of 5 gets hit harder when it comes to the transfer portal than the FCS. I don't know these numbers for sure, but I would guess if you look at the percentage of Group of 5 all-conference guys that get plucked, it's probably a much higher percentage compared to the FCS. But, still it's a trickle-down where the top FCS guys and the top Group of 5 guys, some of them get plucked by the Power 4, or then the Group of 5, they look to fill those ranks, and so they look to the FCS, and so it is a kind of a downward trickle down effect in that sense. But I also think it's we've seen this year where there have been a lot of top talent in the FCS that have decided to stay. So there's a lot of different narratives out there, and it's really hard to know what is true and what is not, and what's going to be a recurring theme or not, because every year, it kind of seems to be a bit different as far as how hard the FCS gets hit. And, sometimes there's a narrative of the FCS is just a feeder program, which I certainly think there are elements of truth to that. But at the same time, this year we saw a lot of guys, especially at the quarterback position, decide to stay. And so some of the narrative was, well, maybe things are swinging the other way, where now FCS guys know better than to, enter the portal and, risk playing time and all that. So, it's kind of a mixed bag of results. But, certainly if you're not a Power 4 program, you're going to get hit hard, right? If you're a Group of 5, if you're FCS, if you're a Division I, AAA, you're a mid-major college hoops team, that doesn't play college football, you're going to get hit hard as well. So it seems like if you're a mid-major, you're kind of just getting stuffed into the locker by the Power 4 programs, and there's really nothing you can do about it right now.
Bobby Houck retires today as Montana Grizz head football coach. We have a reaction from Sam Herder, FCS senior analyst for HeroSports.com on tonight. Follow him at Sam Herder FCS for the best coverage of the FCS. So Houck said one more. He said, no coaches would tell you the structure of college football is sound. It's in a good place. He said, nobody's saying that. So what does he mean by that?
Well, I just think the wild, wild west, or people always use that term about college football, where kind of like I mentioned, there just aren't enough restrictions, when it comes to the transfer portal. Like I said, guys can play at 5 different schools in 5 years. I don't think that is really helping anyone in that case. And NIL deals. There's a bit more structure with that, with the house settlements. Then you have revenue sharing as well, but there's a cap to that. And so in a way, paying players, there's a bit more structure there. But then you get to the agent part of things, and that's, not regulated at all, where literally anyone can be an agent. They don't have to pass a certain certification like the NFL does. I've heard that college football agents are taking like 20% commission, which is crazy, because I think NFL agents get like 3 to 5% commission, based off of what contracts their players are signing. And so it just seems like there's really it's a difficult pathway for college sports to get out of this. And I don't know what the answer is. Some people will say collective bargaining, but that comes with a whole lot of questions. Other people will say that, well, Congress needs to get involved and, give the NCAA some sort of antitrust protection so they can enforce, like, hey, you can't transfer more than once. If you do, you're going to get punished. The NCAA can't enforce that right now because the courts overruled them. But there hasn't been a whole lot of great progress there as far as getting help from Congress. So I don't know the way out of this, but certainly from a coaching perspective, a fan perspective, college sports sometimes can be really tough to stomach right now. For the players, the players kind of have it good right now. All right, they can make as much money as they want. They can bounce around to different schools as much as they want. So the players have it good. I don't know if the players want collective bargaining because they don't want to be restricted in how much money they can make. And pretty much any time a player takes the NCAA to court, it seems like they're winning. Even some eligibility cases as well. So it's just a very hectic time right now.
It is free agency every year, no caps on it. So no caps. Free agency every year. That's a big benefit to the players. But Bobby Houck said he's tired of it, so he's out. Last one for Sam Herder. The new coach is going to be the wide receivers coach. He's been around the block. He's been at college programs, some big programs. Wide receiver coach for a year at Montana. He steps in Bobby Kennedy. What do you think this does to Montana? Do they lose players? Because now these guys can transfer too when they lose a coach. What do you think Montana does now?
Yeah, it does open, another 15-day portal window for these players after a head coaching change. Honestly, Montana loses quite a bit of their starting lineup from last year, and so I don't necessarily know if they're going to lose a whole lot of guys to the transfer portal. Obviously the ones to keep an eye on are the big names like Kiali Ayat. Although he tweeted earlier today, and it made it sound like he'd be coming back. But you also have Eli Gilman, Brooks Davis. Those guys all seem pretty committed to Montana, but this is just 15 more days for them to potentially reconsider. Peyton Wing, the linebacker on the defensive side of the football, he's another one to keep an eye on. But for the most part, Montana doesn't return a whole lot of snaps on defense. They lose their entire starting offensive line, and so it's not like they're going to lose 8 starters to the transfer portal because they don't have 8 starters coming back in general. It's just those headline names to keep an eye on. But I would be pretty surprised if Ayat left. I'd be pretty surprised if Gilman left. Not sure about Brooks Davis, their standout wide receiver, but he seems pretty committed to Montana. So certainly something to keep an eye on. But I just kind of have a gut feel that the Grizz won't lose anyone, at least too notable. Yeah, promoting Bobby Kennedy is certainly interesting. He doesn't have any coordinating experience. He doesn't have any head coaching experience. Montana says he's not the interim head coach, but they did say they will reevaluate things after the 2026 season. So I don't know if he's on a 3-year contract, a 1-year contract. how all that is going to play out. But certainly an interesting decision to promote him. But I do think that creates some stability for the program, for the coaching staff, for the players. Because I believe he's pretty well liked by the players. So interesting to see if he's the long-term solution or not. But I kind of feel like 2026 is I guess a test run for him to see if he's going to be the long-term head coach or just a one-year head coach.
Winningest football coach in the Big Sky Conference, Bobby Houck, a long time. He's a Montana alum and head coach for the Grizz. Had a couple of stints there. Retires today. Said he's had enough of talking to the agents and the transient nature. That's a part of it. Houck's out. What does that do to Montana football and the FCS moving forward? Sam Herder's on tonight. Follow him at Sam Herder FCS and HeroSports.com, the FCS senior analyst. Sam, I appreciate you, man. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Sam Herder tonight. HeroSports.com, FCS senior analyst, Montana Grizz head coach Bobby Houck retired today. This should throw up some flags here. I mean, we talk about it. You guys talk about it. You guys are the fans. You talk about this. There's coaches now. It's like, I've just had enough. And Bobby Houck's probably on the tail end of his career. I understand. But they've just had enough. Chris Kleiman at Kansas State, he's had enough. Craig Bohl at Wyoming, he's had enough. So it should just tell you some of these older guys that do certain things a certain way, they're bailing. They are bailing. Jerry Brewer is in next. Big interview. Longtime sports writer for the Washington Post. Now he's with The Athletic. Washington Post just axed their entire sports department. Jerry Brewer's reaction coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
You've seen him on the bag. Now follow him online. It's Lofi, Country Heart's mascot. And not only is he a cute little slice, he adds a bit of fun to Fridays. Follow Lofi on Facebook for Free Bread Fridays. Each week his posts may include a kid-friendly coloring page, a fun bit of trivia, or one of his famous dad jokes. Jokes may be stale, but his bread is always fresh. Just like his post each week for a chance to win a coupon for a free Country Hearth product. Join the party with Country Hearth and Lofi on Facebook.com/CountryHearthBreads. Because when the bread is free, the fun rises.
Does your home have a crawl space? When cold weather arrives, that can mean cold floors, frozen pipes, and higher energy bills. Protect your family and keep the cold air out this winter with Expert Crawl Space Sealing by Blackburn Basement Systems. Sealing keeps your crawl space clean, protects pipes, and insulates your home so floors are warmer and energy bills are lower. A sealed crawl space means a nicer home. Don't wait. Call Blackburn Basement Systems today.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Hey, welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. Thanks for making this show possible. You guys mean a lot. We appreciate it. Our listeners across the state on Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show, powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our number one partner. It's my family's banking partner, as a matter of fact. Been with them a long time now. I want to tell you, best rates on vehicles, personal business loans. It's the right choice. Start at bhfcu.com. Be a smart banker. Get a good banking partner. I'm telling you, this is the place. Black Hills Federal Credit Union, 18 locations across the state, from the Black Hills to Sioux Falls. bhfcu.com. Start there. Become a member. Take advantage of Black Hills Federal Credit Union. Jerry Brewer, one of our great guests over the years, a longtime sports columnist, wrote for the Washington Post and covered Super Bowls and Olympics and some massive events. Now he's with The Athletic. And this team, they've really done a good job. The Athletic has kind of turned the corner, and part of the New York Times. He's on X at Jerry Brewer. Interesting day in the world of sports media. I mean, really interesting. The Washington Post, one of the all-time publications, shutters their sports department, essentially. Hundreds of journalists, now not just sports, but that's what we focus on, the sports writers, just done today. Jerry on tonight. I appreciate your time, Jerry. You're always thoughtful on this. I just want to ask your reaction here from seeing this, your former paper, your former colleagues.
Yeah, it's a gut-wrenching day, Nate. I'm here in San Francisco at the Super Bowl, and two of my colleagues from the Washington Post are here. One survived, one didn't. And it's you have to be in the building to really understand like how powerful it is to work for the Washington Post, and the sense of mission that people have, and how wonderful they are to each other, and how they treat that news organization like it's a living, breathing person that they're supposed to keep alive and keep thriving in perpetuity. And to think now that leadership at the Post, whether it's Jeff Bezos as the owner, or Will Lewis as the publisher, or Matt Murray as the executive editor, to think that they're just chopping off entire limbs of the operation. It's incredibly hard to deal with, incredibly hard to process, and there's a lot of sadness and a lot of anger. And later tonight, there will probably be a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, right.
To be honest with you, to drown that sorrow.
So you said, one of the folks is out, for example, at the Super Bowl with you. They just got an email. I saw how this kind of went down. It's like, hey, here's an email. Your position's eliminated. Sorry. And then one of the colleagues is still in. So by all accounts, most of the 90-some% of the sports is going to be cut. So what's their angle on sports? Who's left? What are they going to do?
Well, who knows what they're going to do? I mean, they're folding like they're. Well, I'll tell you this: there were about 45 people in the sports department. Five of them survived.
Okay.
There's an editor. Our investigations editor is going to national. There's another editor who's just left to run a zombie sports print product. And then there are three reporters, out of the whole bunch who survived, and they're going to be put into this revamped features department to cover sports as, quote, a cultural phenomenon, which is something that we did anyway. And then, like, we actually told you, like, what it meant to, like, be these teams and the decisions that they made and scrutinized and all of that stuff. So I don't know what they're going to do here. I don't think that's a good plan. Sports is a great point of entry. It's there's a connection and a community to the sports experience that even though, like, we will write about things that intersect with politics and controversies and other things in society, ultimately it's still a safe haven for fans and for people, regardless of some of their other beliefs in life, to really come together and just enjoy fun and games. And to think that point of entry is no longer going to be there at a storied, not only is the Washington Post a storied organization, right? Like Woodward, Bernstein, and so on and so forth, the Pentagon Papers, right? Like, it's beyond that. It's also has one of the greatest sports sections ever devised. And I think when you put together the longevity of the run that the Washington Post sports section had, I really feel like it's unrivaled. I mean, the Boston Globe would beg to differ, and a few others might, but certainly the Washington Post is in that number, even though nationally, especially over the last, 20 years or so, I don't think people recognized, how good of a product that was and how it's not just a politics newspaper.
Jerry Brewer on tonight, sports columnist for The Athletic, live from the Super Bowl in San Francisco, really talking to him about the massive story in media, the Washington Post announcing huge layoffs in the sports department. There's not going to be many people left covering sports for publication like the Washington Post. Jerry, there's various reasons. So I've been looking at this. I've been reading stories. You were inside of it. Various reasons why maybe the Washington Post has struggled. Subscriptions and all of that stuff. But was this a story that the Post didn't evolve into 2026? Video, podcasts, audio, interviews. Was this the story of the Post sports not evolving?
To some degree, yes. It's more nuanced than that. Like, look, certainly the section made mistakes when I was there. Like, I look back on this now, and I'm doing a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking on things that even though I'm just one person, could have done a lot better and set a different example. So the natural things that have, influenced the demise of all media, it's the same story with the Post, right? It's just technology is advancing in such a way that the way that we learn how to do things for over 100 years is changing, and we are struggling with really understanding how to marry fundamental, great storytelling in these new mediums, and that struggle continues. But I don't think that the ultimate demise is as simple as that. I think there was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. There was a lot of things that the Post was trying and to implement, in these new mediums, in video and audio and such as you mentioned, but they did it in a very stupid, oversimplified way, and it ultimately failed. And these are tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of investments that they might as well have just handed out to people on the streets, because it was just so ineffective what they were doing. And then, there is the greater. Here's the thing about media, and I think you kind of understand this as well, Nate. You can't be concerned with whether people love you or hate you or are indifferent to you. You have to follow a certain kind of standard, a certain kind of encompass a certain kind of way of doing things. Simply put, you have to tell it like it is, or like you believe it is, based on all of the reporting and research that you've done. What you can't do is pander to people. What you can't do is be so concerned with how the truth is perceived that you try to do something on the side to soften the blow. And I think when you look at like kind of the warring, polarizing aspects of America and how you navigate that, the Post did not stand on its principles, and I think they're trying to do this middle thing to quote unquote reach all of America. And if you're trying to reach everyone, you're not doing a good enough job reaching anyone. And ultimately, to me, I think that philosophical shift, which occurred with the retirement of the great Marty Barron, one of the great American editors, classic newspaper editor, with the retirement of Marty Barron about 5 years ago, it's just been kind of downhill from an identity standpoint. And when you don't have a clear identity in an attention economy, you are just going to continue to sink and sink and sink.
Last one for Jerry Brewer on tonight. I really appreciate his time, his perspective. Sports writer for the Washington Post. He spent years there covering the biggest events. Now he's with The Athletic, covering the Super Bowl. As a matter of fact, this weekend, find him at The Athletic and on X at Jerry Brewer. So where's this going, Jerry? I think about it myself. I've been doing this 26 years, and I try and do a sports show, local, regional, national, thought-provoking, interviews, stuff like that. Then I see radio shows just, they're laughing all day, they're goofing around all day, they're not talking about anything. I see Pat McAfee just had his biggest month in January. McAfee's style is different. Is the consumer wanting McAfee or Washington Post sports?
Well, I think one of the problems that we have ultimately is that we're trying to like decide one way or another, and like you're trying to set this standard. And to me, Nate, it reminds me a lot of, say, the NFL head coaching hiring cycle. Oh, man, Sean McVay is so good. Kyle Shanahan is so good. What we need is a young offensive mind, and that's going to be the solution. And then you go and you find a really poor facsimile of those guys, right? Now, all of a sudden, Mike Vrabel is in the Super Bowl, and the even younger Mike McDonald is in the Super Bowl. Defensive coaches. Mike McDonald is like comparable to the defensive version of Sean McVay, and just beat him twice at the end of the season to get there. And now what happens? Like this hiring cycle, like I think 6 of the 10 hires were guys with defensive backgrounds. So they're like, oh, man, this is the way it's going. We got to do this, right? And so I think often, like, one of the reasons why I think NFL teams are so bad at hiring is they first don't know who they are. They haven't done, like, a real examination of who they are as an organization, what their values are, and then go out and try to find the right solution. I think from a crumbling media empire, which goes across television, print, radio, digital, etc., we're sitting there searching for, like, what's the magical thing, right? Like, the thing that drives me crazy, every time I get on social media now, I see all of these, like, really raw, poorly produced videos of reporters standing up. Hey, I'm outside the Super Bowl, and I was talking here today, and Mike Vrabel said that Drake May's shoulder is going to be fine, and, like, the phone is shaking and all of this, and, like, everybody's doing it the exact same way. And people are going to be looking at that saying, like, man, this is not anything original, right? Like, I hate to go back to old school TV, but, like, there was a MASH, and there was a Sanford and Son, and there was a Cosby Show, and there was a Simpsons, and, I can go on to more updated things. There's a Game of Thrones, and there's a Sopranos, right? Like, everybody isn't trying to do the same thing, and those catch audiences. Like, you have to understand who you are. You do have to pay attention to the audience and its needs, but you don't pander to it. Like you use that evidence and that research to kind of formulate in your mind an approach. But then you got to stand on principle, because if you do not stand on principle, people will understand and they will consider you the phoniest person on the planet and just turn you right off.
Jerry Brewer on tonight. Wanted your reaction, man. One of the best. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Wild day. Washington Post Sports pretty much done. Jerry Brewer now with The Athletic, longtime sports writer, sports columnist, live from the Super Bowl. I want to talk to you again. We'll do it about the Super Bowl. I appreciate you hopping in.
Oh, anytime, man. Thank you for giving me the platform.
I appreciate it. Jerry Brewer on South Dakota Sports Talk Show tonight. Wanted his perspective, one of the best to get today. Washington Post announcing huge layoffs in sports. Just massive layoffs. He said there was like 45 down to 5. So this is like the equivalence of like the Argus Leader, who used to have like 5 in sports down to 1. I mean, that's it. That's the equivalence. That's kind of where it's at. We'll discuss more. I want to jump into our question of the day about club volleyball and the discussion that was had today at the Activities Association basketball meeting. Where does club volleyball and basketball land in South Dakota? We'll discuss.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates across South Dakota. We are in Sioux Falls, KWSN. Welcome in. And Fox Sports Rapid City across the state, East River to West River. Good stuff tonight. Thanks for being here. Brian Noe is on the way talking Super Bowl. Brian Noe, his take on the Seahawks and Patriots. Brian Noe from Fox Sports Radio on. Trent Singer's in tonight. This next hour, Sioux Falls Live covers high school sports and Augie hockey. We'll talk a lot of high school sports with Trent Singer, Sioux Falls Live, straight ahead. Speaking of high school sports, let's get to our question of the day. Man, people are voting on this heavy. A lot of votes, a lot of comments. I'm going to try and get to as many as I can. So it was stated today at the basketball advisory meeting. This is the Activities Association basketball advisory meeting where they go over all the proposals and stuff like that. They had a discussion about girls' high school basketball and the numbers. And if you look at some of the programs, the numbers are alarming here in South Dakota. And it's not just South Dakota. I'm telling you, I got stories out of Nebraska, no teams. So Brookings has low numbers. Sioux Falls Lincoln has 25 players. 25 players in the program at a huge school like Sioux Falls Lincoln, for example. I've seen numbers West River going down. Not just in the varsity programs, all the way into the middle school programs. Believe me, I'm in the middle of this. I see it. I watch middle school basketball, high school basketball. So it was stated at the advisory meeting today that there's a big issue with girls basketball numbers, and we got to figure this out. One issue that was mentioned, one of the big ones, they said we can't sugarcoat it. Club volleyball is getting girls away from basketball. They talked about it today. Is club volleyball hurting girls basketball in South Dakota? And so there's going to be volleyball people out there tonight that say, oh, hey, I mean, if the girls want to play volleyball, they play volleyball. And I understand that. I understand that. Here's the difference. Club volleyball is going on heavy right now during the high school girls basketball season. So it's not just like, well, we play high school volleyball, it's great, and then take a breather, and then like we'll do summer stuff. No, it's club volleyball, and you better be ready to rock and roll right now. And if you're a high school girls basketball player, what are you going to do? So I asked the question of the day tonight on the Nate Brown Show. This is for you all tonight. And hit us on the text line if you can. We'll get to your answers. 605-720-1067. I'm interested. Is club volleyball hurting girls' high school basketball or killing girls' high school basketball? Is it the club volleyball model? Listener text coming in. This one here from Sioux Falls. Listener text, absolutely it is. If the girls choose basketball over club volleyball, I'm sure there's a natural bias that comes into play, where the kids who pay for the club or forego b-ball are viewed as more committed now and more deserving come the following volleyball season. It's not right. So that's from Sioux Falls. Here's a listener text. Nate, living in Sioux Falls, you've seen Lincoln girls have forfeited games. They're playing Brookings coming up on Friday. Brookings facing the same problem, lack of girls. Brookings has only won one game. Sioux Falls Lincoln hasn't won any games. I've seen this. Let's see here. Listener text coming in. Here's one. This is from a volleyball coach. It's a volleyball coach, and I want everybody tonight. Volleyball coach. Lindsay says, the club volleyball model isn't great when the big clubs start for volleyball, but it's the athlete's choice. Some clubs don't start until basketball is over. It's not the main factor around the decline in basketball numbers for girls. I'm a huge advocate for multi-sport athletes. So, I mean, I think you could have this discussion. It could be ongoing here because you look at the history, and here's why club volleyball, I think, was mentioned today. The history of girls' sports is a lot of volleyball players play basketball and vice versa. So then when you have the club aspect come in heavy, and it's getting serious, and this is East River and West River, club volleyball, academy stuff. Now the basketball players they're looking at it going, well, if I don't try out for my club, am I going to be on that team? What am I going to do? I'm kind of, maybe I'm a little better at volleyball. And then that's where you see the break off. And then some people would say girls are choosing volleyball because of the physical aspect of basketball. It's rough. It's tough. The way it's played, that whole thing. Some people have said that. I have a listener just pointed out, I think this is Mike. Is that his name, Mike? He said, basketball turns away girls at a young age. They turn away girls, and then they complain. Okay? So there's probably... I mean, I've been in the world here. I've been in both worlds, and I've seen it that basketball numbers, I've seen coaches turn some players away. I don't love it. I've seen it. And then when you invite a lot of players to play, I invited a lot of players to play. And then sometimes that doesn't work out because then people get upset, too, about that. So it's a tough environment. Tough environment. Let's take a look at our question of the day and our answers here. Okay? Let's see. Is the current club volleyball model killing high school girls basketball in South Dakota? That's my question of the day. I put it out there on Twitter. 281 votes. I want to make sure we have this right. 281 votes. Let's see. 86% of you are voting yes. Club volleyball's killing girls basketball. 86% say kids just can't play both. 14% say it's an overreaction right now. Lister text, does girls basketball have club in the fall? See, and that's I think he's asking that question like, well, hang on, is that what's going on? Not to me. I see volleyball, high school volleyball being played. Okay, they have their own season. Basketball's not infringing on that. Basketball does their club stuff, most of it in the summer. And so you can have that argument about softball players or soccer players or whatever, but for the summer stuff. But basketball, AAU is heavy summer, and that's the difference now is volleyball is heavy winter. They take fall for high school, and then club volleyball takes winter for club. Winter and, year-round, basically. So that's the issue, and it was talked about today in South Dakota's basketball meeting, saying we got a big issue with girls' high school basketball numbers, and there's no more sugarcoating it. Club volleyball is one of the issues. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show as we start our second hour. How about 5 questions from Chris? Can we get into this tonight? Our loyal listener, Chris, sends me 5 questions. My answer's coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
Hey, I'm Dylan, and I'm a South Dakota Lottery intern. I've learned some pretty cool things here at the lottery. Like, did you know 100% of the money we make goes back to the state? Including millions every year for education? That's awesome, right? I also learned there's a machine for making your own coffee. Who knew? Anyway, learn more about where South Dakota Lottery money goes at goodfunsd.com.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At Connect Home Center, they've been a part of the Mead Lumber family since 2000. Now, they're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
Winter's arrived. I'm with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, and I know you have some great specials right now.
Yes, we do. Get an Arctic Start remote system, which we feel are the best in the business, from just $369. From the Ultra Simple with a range of 1,500 feet to LCD remotes that have a range of 1 mile, to our drone mobile unit where your smartphone will start your car from anywhere on the planet.
Technology is just amazing, isn't it?
That it is. And right now, save up to $40 on a set of Toyo Celsius 2 tires, what we think are simply the best tire for our area. A 60,000-mile rated year-round winter tire. It's an absolutely amazing tire for South Dakota.
So winter performance, and you leave them on all year long?
You got it. These tires will perform way better in winter weather than a typical all-season radial. Stop in or call, and we'll go over all the Toyo tire and remote start options available, and we'll do it with the best prices in the area.
See anytime.com, and of course at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales. One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. Second hour. Let's roll tonight. The Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, where it's always a great day in South Dakota. Say it with me. Brian Noe's coming up, Fox Sports Radio, our A-list guest from the Super Bowl. Brian Noe talking Super Bowl coming up. His read, I'm sure he's going to tear down Sam Darnold. This ought to be a lot of fun. Brian Noe is in Fox Sports Radio, countdown to kickoff host. Trent Singer's on tonight, SiouxFallsLive.com. We'll talk high school sports, some big topics today in South Dakota high school sports. The Nate Brown Show official outfitter is Trav's Outfitter. And, man, I've been to this store. This store is outstanding. Family-owned. I love that. And then the staff, when I got in there, just really good. They'd rather earn your trust than force a sale. It was low-key. They care about getting it right. Trav's Outfitter is your home for the best work boots and Western footwear. I mean, number one, okay? Independent, proud of it. They want sale after sale. They want you to tell people, go to Trav's Outfitter. The staff knows work boots and Western boots. It's what they do. Best selection, best service, no BS. It's Trav's Outfitter, new store in Rapid City, your stock show headquarters, Campbell Street. Stop by this week. See them online, travsoutfitter.com. Remember, Trav's Outfitter when it comes to work boots and Western boots. Great selection, great prices. It is a Wednesday on the Nate Brown Show, so let's do this.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
I got him, Chris. You ready? 5 questions from Chris. He said he's going to send me some Olympic questions. Oh, boy. Let's see if I can handle it. Question number 1. The Winter Olympics opening ceremony is Friday. When Milan was awarded the games, they wanted to only spend about $1.6 billion. That has ballooned up to $6 billion for the 17-day event. I mean, what goes on here? Nate, you said you should just put the Olympics in some permanent sites, 3 or 4 cities around the world. Do you think the Olympics will be a big thing in the next 25 to 30 years if these costs continue to go up for hosting? Will the Olympics be a big thing in the next 25 years? That's an interesting question, Chris. Yeah, I think it will be. I mean, it's a massive deal. It brings the whole world together. I think it will be. The Olympics is still a thing. The cost thing is just wild. I mean, it's just absolutely wild. The Italian community has to, subsidize the Olympics. And so I don't know if there's a bunch of places that are going to want to do this, but I think they'll continue to have cities do this, and I don't know where all the money goes. I don't know where all the money goes. Keep an eye on it. But yes, the Olympics will be a big thing in 25 years. Okay, there's your answer. Question number 2. Speaking of the Olympics, NHL hockey players are playing in this. Many expect the medal round will be Canada and USA. Championship final was between Canada and USA in that 4-nation series, remember? They did that 4-nation series. Question, do you think Team USA can beat Canada in the Olympics in a medal game? I don't know. I don't follow hockey that close, Chris, but if you're going to tell me USA or Canada, USA, can we beat Canada finally, please? I know it's hockey. Canada's sport, I know, but give me the USA. Keep an eye on the hockey in the Olympics. Question number 3. Let's go to baseball, Nate. Pitchers and catchers report in 2 weeks. The reason for the earlier start is the World Baseball Classic happening in late March. Should Major League Baseball continue the World Baseball Classic, or should they try and get back in the Olympics? I think the World Baseball Classic's fine. I don't know if it's huge, but I think it's fine. The Olympics can get lost a little bit, games can get lost a little bit. I watch basketball a lot in the Summer Olympics and stuff, but I wonder if baseball would get lost in the Olympics. So World Baseball Classic makes it stand out a little bit. In the spring, not a lot popping, so I'll go there. I'll keep it there. Question number 4. Bill Belichick not going to the Hall of Fame, and we found out about 3 weeks before we should have known. The reason why the NFL wanted to change the time frame is they wanted a few weeks to make a profile and stories of their new members. Should the NFL go back to their former way of doing the voting, selection announcement all in one day? Voting, selection announcement all in one day, or will there be leaks anyway? Yeah, I mean, there's going to be leaks in today's world. I mean, there's going to be leaks. So you're going to get this stuff out when it happens. Belichick doesn't make it. Robert Kraft doesn't make it. So you're going to get this stuff out. It's just the world we live in. I think the NFL doing however they do the profiles is fine. It's the way of voting, Chris. That needs to change. You only put so many guys. So you have 5 guys in, only 1 coach every year. It's like, if you're a Hall of Famer, I should be able to vote for Bill Belichick and Mike Shanahan in the same year. I should be able to vote for those guys in the same year. That's what needs to change, Chris. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris tonight. Should the Hall of Fame votes for the NFL or Major League Baseball be publicly released? So should we be able to find out who decided to vote against Belichick? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You wouldn't want people knowing that you vote this or you vote that. I can't have the votes being publicly displayed. There are too many trolls on the internet. There's too many morons on the internet. So let's leave the morons to speculate. Keep the ballots closed. 5 questions from Chris in the books. Brian No, one of our favorites, talking Super Bowl from San Francisco.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds to to share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Estate in the Black Hills. Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home. I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back. The Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show on KWSN in Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. We bring West River and East River together. Isn't it amazing? You didn't think it could happen in South Dakota, but we do it every afternoon. Thought-provoking sports talk. You guys make it happen. I appreciate it. Trent Singer's coming up from SiouxFallsLive.com. We'll talk high school sports. A big question of the day. Over 300 votes coming in on this thing. A lot of votes on this question of the day about club volleyball and high school basketball. The two rivals. We'll get into that with Trent Singer on the way. Brian Noah's on talking Super Bowl. Here we go. Countdown to kickoff host on Fox Sports Radio. And Brian Noah ready for Sunday. Brian, how are you?
What's going on, Nate Brown? What's a good word? Is it a good day in South Dakota? I hear it's always a good day over there.
It is. It's always a great day in South Dakota. We got about 50 in a lot of communities, like 50 degrees. I mean, we are feeling good. I got to ask you, how do you feel about this Super Bowl matchup? People are trying to talk themselves into Patriots are better than you think. Their offense is played in snow and bad weather and against good defense, so their offense can turn it up. Their defense is going to scheme it up. Are you doing that? Are you talking yourself into that today?
Listen to you. Like the Patriot negativity, Nate Brown. Like I just love how you phrase these things of they're trying to talk themselves into this wives' tale of the Patriots, the sucky Patriots, like actually being good. Like I don't understand the Patriot negativity, man. It's gone way too far. I get that they had a cake schedule. I get that they got some lucky breaks with the injuries in the playoffs. Your guy Bo Nix and Nico Collins and offensive tackles, and the list goes on and on. But to reduce the Patriots to like this bum team that lucked their way into the Super Bowl, I just don't buy it. And that's the common vibe I get heading into this game. And it's just I don't understand it, man. Like you can't luck your way into winning 16 of 17 games and being in the Super Bowl. Like instead of like looking at the drawbacks or the critical things that you could point to, it's like this is Mike Vrabel's first year with the Patriots. They went from a 4-13 team in each of the last 2 years, and all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl year one with Vrabel. Like that's amazing. So I don't get the Patriot criticism and the Patriot negativity as if you can't give them any credit for anything. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying the critics out there. It's like, how do you not give the Patriots any credit for anything at this point? That's just crazy to me.
All right, I like this. I can see which way you're trending. I can see which way Brian knows trending. But I'm not going to ask you for your pick yet. Let me ask you about Sam Darnold. I asked this question. If he wins a Super Bowl, do you see Sam Darnold as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL?
I mean, listen, we're one win away from crossing that bridge. I still have my doubts we will be crossing that bridge, but if we do, he certainly would be in the conversation, Nate. He's had a very good year, and listen, it's funny because he had so many critics for a long, long time. You go back to last season, Nate. We've talked about this, right? The two biggest games of the season, he wet himself. It was Week 18 against the Lions, terrible. It was the playoff game against the Rams, even worse somehow. And now you fast forward to this season, and it just took an okay performance against a banged up, completely decimated 49ers team, and he was sensational against the Rams. But, the fine print is the Rams secondary, that's their Achilles heel. Their secondary is not good at all. And give Sam Darnold credit, he diced them up, but kind of wild that we went from all of that criticism of Sam Darnold to like just amnesia. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, what a story. Sam Darnold, this freaking guy. It's like the life and times of Sam Darnold now. We're 1 year removed from talking endless trash about this guy not stepping up on the big stage. So it's just weird. It's been such a 180 in terms of his public perception. It just blows my mind, man. He deserves a lot of that credit, but I think the credit does go a bit too far.
Okay, so this is tied into the Vikings, and Vikings fans up here on this show, a lot of them were ready to get rid of Sam, and it's because of what you said at the end of last year. Even after a 14-3 year, they're like, yeah, it's fine. Let's go J.J. McCarthy. Now it's a whole 180. JJ can't stay healthy, didn't play good when he was in. Now everyone's like, I can't believe we let Sam Darnold go, and the GM got fired. That had to be part of that. What are you thinking if you're the Vikings? What did they do in this QB scenario? Was it a huge mistake?
Well, hey, listen, I think that it was the perfect storm of the way this season played out to make the Vikings look as bad as they could possibly look, Nate. And when you listen to the press conference of the former GM, this is like a day before he got fired, and he was asked a question along these lines where it was like, hey, you didn't franchise Sam Darnold with the money that you got from that and how everything unfolded. Like, what do you think about that move? And the former GM was just like, hey, listen, I understand why we did it. That's a nice way of saying Sam screwed up when it mattered most, and we had this top 10 pick. And so what are we going to do? We're going to franchise Darnold, or we're going to give him a long-term extension? Like, I get why we didn't do that at the time. And then you fast forward to the here and now, and Sam played really well. And he's playing in the Super Bowl while J.J. McCarthy was banged up and bad. It's a tough situation, man. But, had this topic on Countdown to Kickoff, Nate. and I just asked everybody, are you a true believer in Sam Darnold right now? Are you a partial believer or a non-believer? And it was like all of us were partial believers.
Partial?
So it's funny. Yeah, partial believers. And it's funny, but if you look at this from the Vikings lens, even though Darnold is in the Super Bowl, even though Darnold might win a Super Bowl, it's like you still like, I don't know, man. Is he going to revert back to his, I'm seeing ghosts. Is he going to revert back to that? Like, I don't think you can be a true believer in the guy just yet. So when you look at that and think about the Vikings, it's like, well, we can't really crush that franchise and their former GM. Most people, if they're being honest, they're not true believers in Sam Darnold yet. It's going to take more than just, dicing up a bad Rams secondary and a completely injured 49ers team to be a true believer. I'm not there yet.
Man, I couldn't believe it. I found the guy that Brian No doesn't believe in. It's similar to Brock Purdy. I mean, it's the Purdy-Sam Darnold effect with Brian No tonight. One thing, are you a believer? I asked this question yesterday about J.J. McCarthy. Will he be the Vikings quarterback in 2027? He's got 1 year. 1 year. Will he be the guy in 2027? Can you tell if he can bounce back?
Man, that's a good question, Nate. If you ask me right now, I would bet on no.
Oh.
But he's just got a lot of work to do. It's really tough when during the season they're just going back to really basic, fundamental stuff like, hey, let's not have you overstride, like when your left foot is probably like 2 feet farther than it should be when you're throwing the ball. You don't have a base to throw the ball accurately. It's just very, very basic stuff. When you're having to strip it down and start at square one like that, that's rough. I mean, Vikings fans are hoping it's a Josh Allen type situation where Josh's fundamentals were really rough his first 2 years. That's why he was so inaccurate. That's why his numbers were not very good at all. And then he really worked on those fundamentals. They got Stephon Diggs, and, man, that guy just took off. And that is uncommon. That is rare. That's the exception to the rule. But it can be done. And so that's the hope for Vikings fans is that, man, he just works really hard on his fundamentals. He's a much more fundamentally sound quarterback with his footwork and all those sorts of things. Throwing motion, all of that. And you hope he's blessed with better health. If he can have better fundamentals, better health, there's a chance that he could be their quarterback in 2027. I don't want to make it sound like there's no chance at all, but I don't like the odds at this point based on what we saw. He was just that bad when he was out there this season. It was rough.
Brian No is on tonight. He's on Countdown to Kickoff on Fox Sports Radio saying we're all partial believers in Sam Darnold. So Sunday, you're a partial believer in Sam Darnold. What are you, a partial believer in Drake May? What's this?
Oh, I'm a true believer in Drake May.
Whoa.
Nate Brown. That guy's got ability.
Whoa.
Very good quarterback. Yes, he has stunk it up. He stunk it up against your Broncos. It wasn't a blizzard the whole game. It was for 2.5 quarters. The weather was fine, and he wasn't. So I'm not saying that he's incapable of screwing up. I'm not saying he's a quarterback who walks on water. Is free from quarterback sin. I'm not saying any of those things, but there's a reason why he's been neck and neck with Matthew Stafford all season long in the MVP race. When you're completing passes at a 73% clip and not having great wide receivers, you've got Stephon Diggs, who this isn't prime Stephon Diggs. This isn't Stephon Diggs as a top 5, top 10 receiver, and that's clearly his best guy. He's not surrounded by great talent, and you've somehow taken this team to the Super Bowl and 14 wins after winning 4 the season prior. That's legit right there. And he is a threat with his legs as well. I am a true believer in Drake May. I think he's the real deal.
Okay, true believer in Drake, partial believer in Sam. What is your breakdown? Have you made the selection in Vegas? Seahawks favored by 4.5. I can't remember the total, but how are you breaking down Sunday?
I think it's a low-scoring game, Nate. I love under 45.5. I think that is a gift from the gambling gods. I think both defenses are going to have success in this game. And I love the Patriots plus the points. And I really like the Patriots to win the game outright. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, grinded-out, 17-13 ball game. Give me the Pats.
Oh.
17-13. If anyone even thinks about getting to 20 points, it's game, set, match, baby. Like, I don't see both teams scoring in the 20s at all. So I think it's a low-scoring, rock'em, sock'em, robots type game. And if it's a situation like this, I think a lot of people are very much sleeping on the Patriots' defense. That defense is really, really good. I think they're going to have success slowing down Kenneth Walker. And the more you slow down that running game, the more Sam Darnold is going to have to do. And this Patriots secondary is way better than the Rams secondary. So if it's one of those games where, hey, the team that commits, less mistakes, if Darnold's got to do more, I don't know that he's going to come through. So I'm fading him. I'm rolling with the Pats. And it's just, I'll say this, Nate, it is way too one-sided heading into this game. People act like the Seahawks are favored by 14.5, or they're favored by 4.5. And yet you talk to people and it's like, oh, Seahawks big all day. I don't love Darnold in the Super Bowl expected far and wide to be on the winning side. I don't like that whatsoever. So I'll be happy to fade the Seahawks in this spot.
What a breakdown, and the Sam Darnold hate is rolling tonight. Brian Noah is on tonight. You know it. Fox Sports Radio, countdown to kickoff, and Sunday's coming soon. Man, I appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Always great hanging with you, Nate. And I'm a lover. I'm not a hater. You know this about me. I spread love everywhere, far and wide, Nate.
Yes, you do, especially to Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy. But Brian Noah's in tonight. Fox Sports Radio, countdown to kickoff. He's been hosting it all season long, and the Super Bowl is on Sunday. Brian Noah with a Super Bowl check-in tonight from Fox Sports Radio. He's fading the Seahawks. He's fading Sam Darnold. Can you believe it? We're going to make our picks tomorrow. I haven't said anything. Seahawks favored by 4.5. I will be making my pick tomorrow. And we'll have you make your pick, right? It'll be our question of the day. We'll have you make your pick, give us the score, and win a free buffet to the Pizza Ranch. That's how it all works. We all win there. We all win there. I've been giving away a free buffet to the Pizza Ranch each day on the program. And we try and select. We're going to select different people on the text line that answer our question of the day. We had a listener who texted in and he said, so what, I didn't win a buffet to the Pizza Ranch? Because he didn't get a... Well, not that time. Maybe next time. Keep at it. Trent Singer's coming up. We'll talk high school sports. He's with SiouxFallsLive.com. Our question of the day, club volleyball versus girls high school basketball. What's the real story? Trent Singer on the way.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Hi, this is Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in, The Nate Brown Show live, KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Glad you're here, Fox Sports Rapid City. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Stream us on X at Nate Brown Show. Follow us. Watch us live on X at Nate Brown Show. Also on Midwest Sports Plus. We're live right now. New high school sports streaming app. If you haven't downloaded it, you can get it all the live high school games. Midwest Sports Plus. Trent Singer's in tonight. Covers high school sports. Sioux Falls Live. SiouxFallsLive.com. Trent, welcome in. How are you, man?
Doing good, man. It's a busy time of the year for me, but I'm trying to just keep my head above water. And you got high school basketball in the thick of it. Augie hockey is rolling into the playoffs here in a few weeks, and I am staying plenty busy. I can promise you that.
I believe that. So let's get into this. So I got a question here. There was a basketball advisory meeting today. And at these meetings, they talk about new proposals. And so the coaches and ADs that make up these committees, they look at proposals that come from schools like this idea, that idea. Everything got shot down pretty much, so no proposal is going to make big headlines outside of they might be able to go to 22 games. Right now in the state, we play 20. Schools might be able to go to 22. So that made it through the meeting. It's going to go to the ADs for a vote. Here's the big discussion that was had. They say girls' high school basketball numbers are a major concern. There's programs, Sioux Falls Lincoln, hardly any players. Brookings, hardly any players. And just along the way. And so they say there's the big issue is we have to talk about club volleyball. Club volleyball has exploded. East River, West River, they play right during the high school girls' basketball season. How big of a factor do you think this is? Kids that say, well, I guess I'll do club volleyball, and is basketball taking a hit?
Well, I can tell you this. Before I took this job at Sioux Falls Live 2 years ago, I worked for a website called Just Women's Sports, and I was the high school reporter for that company. And I remember a report that came through. It would have been 2022, where the Wall Street Journal had a whole article. I mean, they really took a deep dive into it. About the lack of popularity in girls basketball. It was a sport that lost 19% of its participation over a 20-year period from 2002 to 2022. And I think the year before, it had fallen to the fourth most popular girls sport by participation. You're talking track and field being the most popular, which grew 12%. And then you had volleyball and soccer that increased at 15 and 27% respectively. So I would even go as far as to say it's not just volleyball that is affecting this. It's also soccer. And I will say, though, volleyball that's where you see more overlap because, you play in a fall season, and there's a demand. There's a demand at the club level for participation that if you want to play and be serious about this sport, you have to be all in. And I think it does. It neglects girls basketball to a wide extent. It's not just here in South Dakota. This is happening nationally. I think with this Wall Street Journal report, they even went a little further and talked about Nebraska and how Nebraska was one of the more harder hit states for this. And I would say, locally, you look at a program around here like Sioux Falls Lincoln. There's a silver bullet theory. There's probably multiple things that weigh into this. But I will say that you have volleyball, you have soccer, you have softball that are all pulling at kids, and you're just not seeing as many multi-sport athletes. And it's a bygone era. I think back in the day, you would see so many girls who would play multiple sports, and nowadays it's kind of an all-in mentality. You have to play the one sport year-round. In a lot of ways, I mean, it's year-round. You're talking summer, winter, fall. I mean, spring. You're playing year-round for some of these sports, and it's affecting girls basketball in a big way. The national popularity of volleyball and soccer has also played into it too. Girls just, it's kind of a growing trend, and they just they gravitate towards what their friends do, and club volleyball is a pretty big deal over here. At least East River. And I would say that it certainly is, volleyball's playing a part in it. And I think you talk about solutions. I'm not fully sure on where you go, but it has to start at like a grassroots level, right?
Yeah, it's something to think about. I said, I don't know if there is a solution here because it is today's world. And I do believe there are girls that cannot be multi-sport athletes now. In the culture that's out there, you got to say, well, I'm better at volleyball. I better do that because I can commit. I'm just going to do that. Otherwise, I'll lose myself. Unless you're an elite athlete, are we just at the point where we're leading to specialization?
I'll tell you this. I think a lot of the people who run some of these club programs will tell you that you do have to be all in on it if you're serious about it. And to a degree, they're right. Like you do have to commit yourself to a certain sport. But if you go ask a lot of college coaches, I think more so than not, they'll tell you that they actually appreciate the multi-sport aspect of some of these girls that they go out and recruit. I think college coaches would differ from what a lot of club coaches are maybe telling people, or maybe club leaders. I don't even know if it's the coaches that are so much pushing it, but people who are trying to, sign kids up for club volleyball and whatnot, they're the ones who are really hearkening on it being an all-in thing. But a lot of college coaches will tell you that being a multi-sport athlete, it teaches you more. You bring in a different element to a team from having played with other girls, and it's a communication thing. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's a personality type too. I think it even goes as far as into academics. Like if you're a multi-sport athlete, you're more versatile. You're more able to understand things and comprehend things. There's a lot of college coaches that appreciate that multi-sport athleticism in girls, and I don't know that it's so much pushed at the club level.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I've heard that from college coaches. It's just how do you navigate it when you're 7th, 8th grade freshman trying to make the varsity team here and there. Trent Singer's on tonight, covers high school sports and Augie hockey. SiouxFallsLive.com. One last one, Sodak 32. We have the Sodak 16, Trent, and I think it works well. Sodak 32, they've tried it now twice. They had 2 proposals today. Both got voted down. Are we going to just stick with the Sodak 16 from here on out?
I kind of hope they do, personally. I like the 16 model. You play district tournaments in B and A, and it gives those other teams an opportunity. Some of those teams are beleaguered a little bit throughout the season, and you see some upsets here and there. And so I kind of like the model the way it is. I'm okay with that one, being shot down. I get the idea of going to this 32 model basis, but or 32 team basis, but 16's working.
Yeah.
I don't see that there's any complaints with this specific model that they have. Obviously, you can't go 32 in AA. It would, you're really pushing the limits there. But in A and B, you do have district tournaments, and you have these regions where you have to play through a game or two. You get a 1 seed that maybe gets the bid all the way to the play-in game to get into the SODAC 16, but I think the model as it is right now is fine. I have no problems with that one being shot down. I'm all for that one.
I'm with you. Trent Singer's on tonight. Follow him at Trent Singer and find him at SiouxFallsLive.com. Man, I appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Nate.
Appreciate it. Trent Singer on tonight, SiouxFallsLive.com, covering Augie hockey and high school sports. Who's hot and who's not? Next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
From gooey grilled cheese sandwiches on Dakota-style 12-grain to peanut butter and jelly on Kids' Choice soft white bread. Kids of all ages want simple, comforting food that remind them of mom's home cooking. Country Hearth was born from that nostalgia and commitment to simplicity. Baked locally using natural ingredients like whole grains and honey, our breads are delivered fresh daily to grocery stores throughout the Midwest. Country Hearth Breads, baking our best for you.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Get ready for the biggest game of the year. The BetMGM Sportsbook at Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort has everything you need for this monumental matchup with the Big Game Experience. Reserve your seat today and guarantee you and your crew have a spot to watch the ultimate championship in football. The Big Game Experience comes with a game day buffet, special games and giveaways, and $25 free play in the casino. Let us host your big game this year at the BetMGM Sportsbook at Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort in Deadwood. Learn more at tinlizzie.com.
In the studio today, I have Weston and Denise Chapman, owners of Black Hills Tire. What kind of diesel services does Black Hills Tire specialize in?
Black Hills Tire is really going to focus on a lot of new diesel services. We're doing factory maintenance and service. We're doing fuel system diagnostics and repair. We're going to do engine repair, even all the way into engine overhauls and engine removals and installation, whether it's driveline components and repair, transmission service, transmission and clutch replacements, brakes. We're doing everything.
Check us out at blackhillstire.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. 41 tonight under partly cloudy skies, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly sunny tomorrow, 68. Mainly clear skies tomorrow night, 36. Clouds on the increase Friday into Saturday. Upper 50s Friday, mid 60s by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 51.
We're talking with Britt Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy for an Elevate Performance Health Minute. Britt, one of the injuries we hear a lot about in sports, an ACL tear. You can't prevent all injuries, but good sports performance training could help.
Yeah, Nate, one of the things that a lot of good sports performance training focuses on is trying to not only prepare athletes for the field of sport, but also try to mitigate their risk to sustain an injury. Unfortunately, things happen in sport. If anybody ever does experience an ACL tear, that results in needing a surgery to fix that, it's important to have a therapist on your side who can help them through prehab, rehab, and then return to sport. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes a long time to get back to the field of sport, but it's not impossible to do it all by any means. So just having that end goal in mind can be really beneficial for the rehab process.
When it comes to ACLs and sports performance training and treatment, get started at elevateperformancesd.com.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown.
All right, let's do this. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch in Brandon and East 10th Street in Sioux Falls, home of everyone's favorite buffet. In my Who's Hot category, congratulations to my friend, I've loved this guy for a long time, covered him a long time. Paul Sather. He was at Black Hill State. Now he's at UND. He's got UND men's basketball 7-2 in the Summit League, tied for second in the standings. Big win over St. Thomas, and they host Omaha tomorrow. I'm rooting for Paul Sather. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, Justin Jefferson went on record. He was asked, what if you had Sam Darnold for quarterback? He said, yeah, with him being here and knowing the playbook and all the players and throwing to me, I definitely feel like we would have done better. Justin Jefferson, the Sam Darnold endorsement. Oops. And he's playing Sunday. Thanks for listening. We'll make our Super Bowl picks tomorrow and set you up with a free buffet to the Pizza Ranch if you make yours. The Nate Brown Show podcast going up right now.
This Valentine's Day, create a space that feels warm and welcoming with help from Menards. Whether it's a small refresh or